Hey guys, what's up? Wolf Dog Now One here, coming to you with the Black Trappr podcast. Guys, this is actually the second time I've recorded this, and to be honest, it's probably gonna be a lot better than the first one. But anyways, welcome to the podcast. Second podcast, by the way, and to guys, I would like to say thank you so much for all the support you guys have been giving me over on the last podcast and my new videos. It really means a lot to me, so I'm definitely going to try and keep putting these up. I'm not going to be able to do it on like a weekly basis or possibly even a monthly basis. It's just going to be when I think I have a subject that I can actually talk about half decently with some type of knowledge to it, I'm going to try and do a podcast on it. So, with that being said, something I'm going to start trying to do on the podcast I'm going to try and do kind of like a little shout out, not really a sponsorship, but something I figured trappers in our industry should know about. So, there's a few things going on right now I'd like to let come to light. Before I start, though, I would like you guys to know I'm not sponsored by anybody I'm talking about. No one gives me money to do this. I just think these are really good deals and really good deals or really interesting things that you should know about. So that's why I'm doing it. No one's giving me money for this. No one is paying me off. I'm not getting bribes, nothing like that. Okay. So, first thing I'd like to talk about is Paul Dobbins of Dobbins Lure is doing kind of a little promotional thing. And it's a free bottle of Coyote Test Lure with a purchase of a minimum of $15. And he has this posted on Trappr, man, so I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind a little bit of free advertising here, but it's a good deal. And I'm just going to read this off of the site. I'm not going to read everything because you got a couple paragraphs here, but I'm going to just read the little top part of it. This is by Paul Dobbins. This year I'm giving out a free bottle of my 2016-2017 Coyote Test Lure with purchase of a minimum of $15 of Dobbins Lure products from me. The free bottle lure will automatically be included in your order. The lure's purchase can be any that I market this year. Things that were a bit different in this promotion below is the write-up about it. I'm not going to read the whole write-up. If you guys are curious about it, just go to trapperman.com, go to Trapping Talk, and it's one of the sticky posts he has up here. It's going to be up here until he decides to take it down. It's the second post below the New Jersey needs help. And while I'm on it, somebody else posted right here that I'm not sure if this has been talked about yet. I haven't read through this, completely. But right now, New Jersey, they're trying to pass this bill to, I'm not sure if it's to allow dog-proof traps or to repeal dog-proof traps. But regardless, New Jersey needs your help if you're a trapper out there. This may just be for New Jersey, but if you're a trapper, I would look at this. New Jersey needs your help with this, though. It's about the dog-proof traps. And it's the first sticky on the Trapping Talk. So, if you guys can check this out, because New Jersey, they already have enough crap to deal with. Let's try and keep it where they can use the dog-proof trap. Okay, so second thing we got up is, third thing now, is Redneck Pride Outdoors, their podcast. They're going to start doing their podcast again. Ron Jones is the guy who does the podcast for them, and they do an excellent podcast, guys. I mean, a phenomenal podcast. It's the way it works is it's not like trapping radio. You can actually call up, I think, when the show's going on, you can ask questions and stuff, or you can just listen to it over the phone. And you can also download it, like you can most other podcasts. And it's a wonderful podcast. The guys know exactly what they're talking about. And tonight they're having their first podcast, and I'm not, possibly a year, I think. It's been about not that long, I don't think, but I think it's been at least 6 months since their last podcast. So, I'm just gonna read this off from Jonesy off of Trappr Man, who's Ron Jones. He's the one who posted this in Trapping Only. Monday night, December 12th, 2016, which is today. Rednecks Pride Outdoors will be doing a show on dog-proof traps. Sean Ingram, the dog-proof trapper, owner of English Mountain Basin Lures, will be my guest on this week's show. Show starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This show is live and will be taped for later downloads. Folks can listen live via PC, download later, or can participate and ask questions by calling in. All are welcome, but just one warning. Not so nice stuff said on the air by someone, and I predict that person will have some form of technical problems with the connection, LOL. This is the first show in a long time. We are starting to do them again. I have had many people ask me to do the show, ask for the shows to start up again. So this is for those folks. And just Google or Bing or Yahoo Redneck Pride Outdoors, and it should take you to where they can get it. And I'm not sure how it works to call in, but you go to the website. I'm pretty sure that you'll find it. Amazing, absolutely amazing podcast, guys. Most of their podcasts are like an hour, 30 minutes long, 2 hours. I think the raccoon snaring podcast was actually, it was the mink snaring podcast. I think their mink snaring podcast is like 3 hours long. It's amazing. And there's guys from all over the country calling in, so you may have everybody from Trapper Bob, who's never trapped a raccoon, to like I don't know, you might just have some celebrities of the trapping world calling in. So if you can, listen in, download it. Amazing show. Okay, so with all that being said, let's get into today's topic. Now, today's topic, I got some little subtopics. I want to get into something for the new guys starting out who are low on money. I want to get into how to make a lot of trapping bait for under $30. How to make like a gallon of bait for under $30. Then we might go into some other stuff, just depending on how it works. I like to try and keep these. I want to try and keep all my podcasts under 20 minutes because I've seen if I go over 20 minutes, I just kind of start babbling. And, I don't want to be giving out misinformation because I'm not super experienced. I read a lot. I talk to a lot of people. So, I like to think I have some kind of base in what I'm saying. So, I like to try and help to the extent of my knowledge. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So, on Trappr Man, a lot of stuff I've been seeing, this time of the year we get an influx of new trappers. It's like, for some reason, around December, for about 2 weeks, you get on there and there's like a new trapper every 2 days. And a lot of questions, a lot of stuff you're getting is like, hey, I'm trying to catch a coyote. I'm using, I think one guy was using salami. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm not trying to make fun of you. Please don't think that. I'm just using an example. But like some guys are using hot dogs. Some guys just, they're just getting in. They don't really know how it works. They really don't know about baits and stuff. And they're just using like stuff they have around. They think they'll eat like dog food. And they don't have a lot of money, but they really want to do it. So something that I've learned about that can really help people, and I was using last year, is what I'm telling you is how to make a lot of bait for a little bit of money. And what I'm talking about are lure bait formulas. I'm sorry about that. Bait formulas. Now, what a bait formula is, if you don't know about it, all the baits that are being made, they usually start off with a base, okay? And, through all the little chemical, reactions and whatnot, you get a good bait. Well, a few bait and lure manufacturers have actually came out with a bait formula, which is a little, I forgot about how big they are, but I think it's like a little pint bottle bait formula. And how it works is, I think before I started that, Dobbins is the one I was using. Somebody sent me some, and I've had really good results with it. It's a great lure formula, and bait formula. I'm sorry, but they're usually less than $25. Dobbins has one. Dobbins has a fantastic one. I think they have two out actually. Dobbins has those two, I think. Predator Control Group, Clint Locklear Predator Control Group, they have one, and I think that one is based off their Federales bait. I think it is. Don't hold me to it. That's what I think. Madrina, if I'm pronouncing that right, I think he has one. I think his is more specialized towards fish. I hear O'Gorman has one out, but I don't have an O'Gorman catalog. You're going to have to call him and ask. He's not online. Yeah, you got to give him respect. He is not online. You can't even find a picture of Craig O'Gorman on Google. You can Google him, but not a lot of people actually know what he looks like. So, I think those four, and I think maybe one or two others have a bait formula out there that you can buy. But basically what it is, it's a liquid compound of it's like super concentrated, like bait drippings, quote unquote. You know, like when you cook a steak and you have all the drippings coming off? I'm thinking it's like the same way they make this, formula, right? And it's just like the super concentrated drippings off a bait, or, something like that. I think that's how it works. I don't know, so. But anyway, how it works is each pint, you get your base meat. Now your base can be anything. Like it has to be a meat base or a fish base. And you get a gallon of it. 1 pint makes a gallon. I know the Dobbins, 1 pint makes a gallon. Get your meat or your fish, your pork, whatever you want to use. And you basically just pour this stuff in it. And and you can have it ground, you can have it chunked, you can just have like big, you can just have a big slab of meat if you want to have it. I mean, it's whatever you want. Pour the stuff on it, and you basically just give it a week, and sorry guys. Excuse me. Anyway, you pour the stuff on it, and you give it a week, and then you have bait made. And that's basically how it works. Now, let me tell you the cool stuff about it. Let me get into the really cool stuff about it. So, I'm going to use Dobbins as an example because that's what I've worked with. That 1 pint of bait solution, that's the word, bait solution, not bait formula, bait solution. There's 1 pint of bait solution is $20, okay? That 1 pint makes you a gallon of bait. So, let's look at it like this. Any bait manufacturer that sells bait by the gallon. I know Apple Road, and I'm not beating up on any bait manufacturer. I'm not saying anybody's a ripoff. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying how they sell it. Okay, it's probably worth it. Might not be. I'm just saying the price. So please, no one get bent out of shape. I know like Apple Road. If you buy a gallon of Apple Road like horse meat, it's like $70. A gallon of high to the water bait from Cavens, that's like $80. A gallon of Federales, I don't even think they sell that in gallons, but it'll probably be like around 80 to 70 to 80 bucks for a gallon. Probably high quality bait. When you think about it, all the work that goes into making that bait, that's actually kind of low cost, but still, that's a good chunk of money. That could be a dozen traps. But a $25 pint of bait solution allows you to just take some old meat and make $80 worth of bait. Might not be as good, but it's going to be a heck of a lot better than, some old hot dogs or something whole. So, you take your bait, and I know I just said we're going to get into the cool stuff, but here we go. There's no real set rules with this. It's basically you take a meat or whatever you want, and you put your lure on it, your bait solution, and it turns into bait. So what you can do with this is you can get, let's say, let me do some, sorry, I had to calculate my stuff. Let's say you want to try different types of meat to see what's going to get your best results. So you buy $100 worth of bait solution. Okay, so at 25 pint, you get 4 bait solutions. Okay, so let's say we all get Dobbins bait solution. Well, you can make a gallon with this meat base. You can make a gallon with this meat base. You can make a gallon with fish base, and you can make a gallon with chicken base if you want to. So now you have, for $100, you have 4 gallons of bait. Okay, that's pretty cool, right? Now let's take that 4 gallons and let's split it up even more. Okay, let's split each gallon to 4 pints. Say the first one you got a roadkill deer. A roadkill deer should be able to produce about 4 gallons worth of just meat scraps. Or you can go to your processing plant and you can get meat scraps from them, from like sausage trimmings. As you see, what I'm saying is getting the meat doesn't have to be that big a problem. You can use roadkill. You don't have to use anything special. You can use groundhog. You can use fish heads if you want. You see where I'm getting at, people. It can be really low cost if you look at it right. So back to what I was saying. Let's take our first gallon and let's use venison. Okay. Now let's use this gallon as fresh venison. Okay. Make a gallon of fresh venison base, and I split that up into 4 pints. Now, each one of those pints, let's add a different additive. First pint, let's add beaver castor. Second pint, let's add asafoetida. Third pint, let's add maybe a little skunk essence. And fourth pint, let's add Tonquin. Now you have 4 different baits from 1 gallon for less than $25. And each one of those can have a different set to it. Now we can just set those to the side. Now let's take our next gallon and let's use tainted meat, okay? Same meat from, I don't know, a rabbit or something. Let it taint. Let it sit out in the bucket for like 4 days. Let it kind of sour. And you make your base out of that. You leave one base just the way it is. Add your additives to the other 4 bases. And then set those to the side. Go to your 4th gallon over here. Take that. Use fish in it. Split that up. It keeps going. It keeps going. There's an infinite, well, not infinite, there's a finite number of stuff you can do, obviously. But you can do a lot of stuff for $100 when it comes to bait solutions. And you don't have to spend a lot of money on this, guys. It will really save you a lot of money. And the cool thing is you can play around with it, see what the animals like better. You could have a really skunky one for cold weather. You could have one that's a paste that you can use like a smear. You could have one that can make like a grab and down where you're just going to want to eat it. You can have one where it's going to cause a roll. You can do all this stuff with a $25 bait solution. And you don't have to get $100 worth of it first. You can get $25 and then you can just play around with that. You can split your gallon into pints. You can split your pints into cups. You can split your cups in ounces if you want. You can just keep going with it. For $25 and some roadkill. I think that's really cool, guys. I think that's really cool. So I hope I didn't babble too much on that. But that's something that if you're just getting into trapping and you can pick up roadkill in your state or whatever. And to be honest, if you can't pick up roadkill in your state, I feel that's really stupid. And, I'll probably do it anyway. I mean, really, you're moving dead animals off the side of the road and you're cleaning up. You're picking up trash, really. I don't see why you should go to prison for that. But anyway, please don't get, in prison because of something I said. So, that's a good way for you to make a lot of bait for a little bit of money. And let me just go back. Let me just stop. As far as bases, I know there's a few trapping warehouses. If you can't go and catch your own, or you can't get roadkill, for a little bit extra money, Cat Bros, Kattaz, I think I'm spelling it right. They sell, I think them in Minnesota, they sell 5-gallon pails of tainted or fresh. I think they do bobcat, beaver, and muskrat meat. And I think it's like $50. I don't even think it's that much. But they sell that stuff. You can get it fresh or tainted. So, again, There's some more money you can save. You can make your own bait with these bait solutions. So, next thing I want to talk about, guys, is I want to talk about decoy sets. What is a decoy set? How do you use it? Stuff like that. So, to begin, a decoy set is basically a set you make, and this is more for those phobic animals, those animals that are really phobic, like coyotes. This is what a lot of people use on coyotes. You make a set that is extremely obvious. It just, something that's going to set off a coyote's phobic nature. Like, like a freaking post-hole Charlie Robbins dirt hole set with some extremely skunky lure. Something that they're going to see from across the field. And it's going to get their attention, or it's in their trail. And the whole idea of it is you have that one set to catch their attention and make them act phobic, and you have another low-key set that's going to catch them. Now, how this is going to work is, I played around with this, and if I was better with trap placement, I would probably have more fur. Then I would probably know what to do with it. I'm horrible with trap placement. I'm still working on it. But how it works is you would take a cow skull or something, and you just, let me rephrase it, I'm sorry. Say you have like a 2-track or something like that. And off to the side you have some cover, and you have deer trails going through there, or rabbit trails or something. Now, what you're going to do is in the open, just make a generic, as I said, a generic, just big, flashy dirt hole like you would for a cat, like your bobcat trapping. And make that as flashy as you can. But come over downwind of that and make like more of a low-key set, like a flat set, a mafia set, or a blind set, in that, like a rabbit trail or a deer trail in the cover. Now, what's going to happen is that coyote's going to come trotting up, and, he should be downwind of it if you do everything correctly. And he's going to see that. Coyote's phobic nature is, first of all, that wasn't deer yesterday. That smells way too, something ain't right there. Something's just kicking off in their head. There's like 4 or 5 different smells coming from there. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. So, first thing a coyote going to do is he's going to hit the cover. He's going to try and get out the cover and get somewhere. He's going to try and get out the open and go in the cover to where he can move and not be seen, because that's where they feel comfortable. So, you got that set firing off all his little neurons in his brain telling him danger. Well, when he hits that trail, that's where we have a very, very low-key set. Extremely low-key. A flat set will probably be the best thing. And you're going to have something that's, he's going to work naturally. Something that will work for that very well will be Blackie's Cat and Mouse, which is basically just ground up mice, I think. That's all it is. That's what I use for it, and it worked extremely well. So what's going to happen is, when he's paying attention to that dirt hole, he's going to come off that trail, and he's just going to get that little bitty smell. And he's going to be like, well, that's a mouse. Something's weird. Something weird is going on with that big hole up there. But this is a mouse. So whatever. He's going to go over there, and that's going to catch him. If you see what I'm saying. You're going to have a blind set in that deer trail. So when he's going around circling, that blind set, that mafia set is going to catch him. Now, I'll probably confuse y'all, but I'll try and explain this a little better. When I was at Fort Jackson doing my basic training, 2 years ago? Something like that. I was doing my basic training, and during our FTX3, our final field training exercise, one of the things we had to do was an IED, how to react to an IED. So the way Fort Jackson is for the FTXs, it's like this massive pine plantation. They have logging roads cut all through it. So how would be you be in your dang, what's that formation? Sorry guys, I'm having like a brain fart. Not a file. You wouldn't be in a file. You'll be in your You'll be in your wedge formation. And you'll be going down these logging roads. Everybody will have their heads on a swivel. And right in the middle of the road, they will take like a 20 millimeter, look like a 20 millimeter mortar shell, and it will just be sticking out of the middle of the road. And they would always get one or two teams because somebody would be like, "Hey, it's an IED over here," and they would try to go to it and examine it. That's not what you do. That my drill sergeant explained to me. He said a lot of times they will set that one up there so you see it, and then you will want to go directly to it and investigate it. Well, what you're supposed to do is you see it, and immediately once you see it, we break to cover. We try and get the hell away from that thing as quickly as possible, because that could just be a decoy for us to get in that area. You see what I mean? So to actually examine it, what we would do is we'll be walking down this logging road, and we would see this IED sitting there, or what we think will be an IED, and we will immediately break the cover. So the minute we see it, break, go up the trail, hit the cover, and then we'll come around and look at it. Because you just don't know what it is. It could be an ambush, it could be anything. So you try and get in the cover where no one can see you, and then you examine it. So hopefully that kind of explains more of what I'm talking about here. So I hope that's kind of helped some people. And it's a great set for coyotes once you understand how it works. Again, as I said, if I understood trap placement better, I would probably have one or two of them, but I don't. So I don't really have any of them. But anyway, I hope that's kind of helped y'all out. This podcast was kind of short, didn't really make a lot of sense in a lot of places, but I hope at least it was entertaining, to say the least. I don't know, I might hop back on here with another thing. I'm trying to think of something else. There's something else rattling around in my brain I couldn't really think about. I'll think of it later. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for listening. I know this one was kind of confusing, but anyway, I'm Wolf Dog 91 with the Black Trapper and the Black Trapper Podcast. Thanks for listening. I'm out.